See who comes in, because it's only a mini chat. So, wanted to talk about a little something. Who comes in? Hi, I'm just writing some stuff down. Hi. Just wait for everyone to come in. Well, whoever's coming in. I'm just looking at what I was watching. Something. Who was I watching? I just said it all, really. See if I can find it. Probably can't. Oh, yeah, there it is. Who was that? Oh, yeah. So, these are just channels. Don't know how this is going to come out, but at the end of it, I'm going to show you some artwork that I've been doing. I've been weeding today and I've been painting, so I've probably got paint on me. I don't know. But the other day, there was a video. Hi, there was a video. Yeah, I'm good. That I put out the other day about somebody's channel in America who was slagging off the Q movement, but these people just don't research, you know. And if you actually went over there, not really to comment, hi, I'm good, you would have seen what a buffoon that person was. Not their fault if they genuinely don't know, because they've been brainwashed. Hi, JP. But if they do know and they've been paid to say what they said, then, you know, that's what people do. Hi, Venice. Hello. So, I was watching. I'm just going to see if I can get the little bit of... It was on... I can't remember whose... I think it might have been the Patriot Hour channel, but Black Mirror put it out. So just let me see if I can find it. Hi. Let me see if I can just find it.
What's going on, man? How you doing? Good, man. Good. Ask to move up. The elephant that's really there is that Kamala made a career on incarcerating the people she's trying to pander to. And it's end up dead on the beach in fucking Florida, especially Dave Epstein Island thing, without him getting convicted of a pedophilia charge, right? Or whatever it was. Your point. Without that first kind of shot across the bow, even all of us that do research and break things down don't know to look there, because all you have is a guy that's really a ghost on Wall Street, and he's running an island. He's got pictures, and he just goes just a rich, and everyone else on this channel, especially Dade County, like down there, who tend to end up dead.
Again, about why it's so important that we kind of take that 40,000-foot view. Please share some comments that President Trump said today, and let's talk a little bit about how the left is spinning this news.
I was not a fan of Jeffrey Epstein, and you watched people yesterday saying that I threw him out of a club. I didn't want anything to do with him. That was many, many years ago. It shows you one thing, that I have good taste, okay? Now, other people, they went all over with him. They went to his island. They went all over the place. He was very well known in Palm Beach. His island, whatever his island was...
Now, it's interesting that he mentions, I'm going to have to pause it just to make sure I can clear copyright and talk for 10 seconds, but it's interesting that he mentions his island. That is he's trying to emphasize that island, which I think is very important.
Yes, that is his way of forcing the fake news to play the clip and not edit out where he mentions the island. That's why he's repeating it over and over, because you can't piece that clip. You can't edit that if you're fake news and avoid the island comment. So he says it 2, 3, 4 times, and that's why he did it. And very effective.
Very effective, and it's very important too. It's what the media should be focused.
They were talking about the media. The reason why Trump says things he says and the left don't get it is because he's, so they can't spin it. But what they were saying on this channel was, if I can find it, of why, I'm going to explain it in a minute, about Q dropping and the way Q drops the way he does.
Focusing on not these false allegations that President Trump is linked to him.
Wherever it is, I was never there. Find out the people that went to the island. But Jeffrey Epstein was not somebody that I respected. I threw him out. In fact, I think the great James Patterson, who's a member of Mar-a-Lago, made a statement yesterday that many years ago I threw him out. I'm not a fan of Jeffrey Epstein.
And yet and still, Dilly, the media cannot stop their hate for President Trump, their blind hate for him. They're spinning it all over the place and saying that Trump is involved with Epstein.
You have to remember, okay, if we're going to keep the same perspective on other people in 2005, 2006, you've got to apply that rule to Trump. Because one of the things that the media is doing right now is they're going to take what he said today and they're going to go, what about when you said Jeff Epstein's a great guy and you made some comments off the cuff about Epstein being, he's a good guy, he likes them young, he likes the ladies, blah, blah, whatever he said, right? It's a throwaway comment. Everyone's viewing that through the lens of 2019 Trump president in control.
Exactly.
Control and safe. They're not viewing it through the lens of President Trump. Dude, in that era, dude, you're talking about a guy that, what was that, 2004, 2005, POTUS makes those comments about Epstein. At that same exact time, Trump's Chicago, is being built with George Soros money. So that means at that time...
See, this is where people get the backup. At that time then, yes, he may have used George Soros' money. Yes, we know about George Soros, but listen, this is where people just, When
he's speaking on Epstein, he is financially leveraged by the swamp, and the deepest swamp you can have.
He had to leverage himself, get up there, do what he's doing now.
$150 million loan from George Soros that POTUS paid off in full, and that was the last loan he took from Soros. But it's an important point because he was rebuilding his life. 1998, 1999, Trump wasn't Trump, okay? Trump was trying to recover from a massive bankruptcy through the 90s. He was trying to bounce back. The only reason, and a lot of people don't know this, I happen to, and maybe some do, but a lot of people don't realize, the only reason Trump became a billionaire again, true story, was The Apprentice. A lot of people don't understand that. The Apprentice gave Trump those initial paychecks. It was a hit. And he used those paychecks to leverage into borrowing more money. Nobody ever doubted whether Trump could build, towers better than anybody. Nobody ever doubted Trump's ability to finance a deal and get it done. But once you lose equity, you have no stake in the deal. It doesn't matter how good of a developer you are. No one's going to lend you $150 million. So Trump starts doing The Apprentice, socks away some money, and then he uses it. And he also, another thing that people don't understand, POTUS also didn't have the ability to borrow money for a while. He was really in a bad way. So what did he do? He started lending out his name. Trump name started going on buildings that POTUS didn't build. This happened down in Puerto Rico, one of the golf courses that people go, oh, you bankrupted a golf course down there. No, he didn't. Some guys that were opening a golf course asked if they could call it, a Trump International Golf Course. They paid him a huge sum of money, and he used his name to rebuild his entire actual portfolio. He had to lend out his name. Totally normal. This happens. And some of those deals went belly up, and Trump took they put the blame on him because his name was on the building. But he wasn't the one on the debt. He wasn't the one on the ownership of those assets. So if you go back in 2004, 2005, in that whole era, you've got President Trump deep dealing with the swamp. He's donating to both sides of the aisle, the Clintons, you name it. He's, he's putting money into these different politicians. He is leveraged for $150 million from George freaking Soros while he's building Trump Chicago, which is really what got him back, like really back on the balance sheet side of things. That's what got POTUS the big money because it was a smash hit. Gorgeous hotel, still operating, making tons of money. But that's the one that got him back, and then he had to pay out Soros. I think he took him out of the deal in 2007 maybe or 6. I can't remember when he paid that deal in full. And then from there, he continued to do the Apprentice, building his brand and his name back, collecting $18 million a year in salary plus royalties from being a producer.
I will come back into chat. I've heard that one too. We'll all find out in the end.
The Apprentice is what saved Trump, okay? Then it got him the money he needed to go back into real estate, build the balance sheet, fund all the...
Was on the phone to college today, couple of weeks, letter, enrollment.
Cool stuff that he always has done. And then eventually it gave him the leverage to step out of that world because he had enough money and to come do what he's doing for this country. But had he not played the game, Had he not played the game, he had to play the game. He didn't do it the way some people think he did it, but he had to play the game. I'll be showing you some art at the end of this because it's just a small one. So thank you. So just listening to this, and then I'll come into chat. Taking the money from Soros, had he not been smart, because maybe he did or maybe he didn't know about Epstein, but he wasn't going to come out and dog the guy in 2003, 2004, knowing his connections and knowing where he was at that point in his career. Trump didn't have that kind of leverage he's got now to be able to speak the truth. You know, truth comes with a cost, a very real cost. And so you've got to understand that, like, for him, at that time, the cost would have been so great, it might have put him right back into the circumstance he was in the 90s. So hopefully that provides some...
And that couldn't have happened because he wouldn't be able to do what he's doing today.
Context for some of you guys that know and look, and you'll find pieces and you link stuff, and he's dirty because of this, or this guy said that, so it means that... But that's the media playing the game. They're using those sound bites of Trump 15 years ago, playing the game, keeping himself out of harm's way so he could build his his balance sheet and get back into some kind of a way.
Oh, by the way, if this has got a title on it about JFK Jr., it's not. I have to change the title after.
To affect change in this country, you got to play the game.
You had to play the game, and the other side of this, and then we can move on from Acosta Epstein thing. This comes from the newsroom and from the Chans. It's a really interesting document that I want to make sure I highlight. And I was going to save it for later, but I think this is a perfect time to do it. FBI Director Robert Mueller in 2008, who was the head of the FBI.
It's not that bit. Which bit was I looking for?
I think that's part of why he didn't necessarily walk it back, but he was like, it's a lot more.
Channel Mo, if you're out there, I know you know a lot about.
Illegals don't listen to Nancy Pelosi, all right? That's because you're going to get your country back. A lot of these lefties can't beat Trump. They know it. So those headlines and that behavior and these speeches aren't because they think they're going to beat him. It's so that they're just trying to fight for re-election in their district. It's so they can stand in front of a crowd a year from now after 1 million illegals self-deported or got deported or whatever, so that they can stand up and go, remember when I said the thing and I gave them the instructions? I gotta be honest with you guys. I'm like, oh yeah, Canada's like that. That you missed the.
He was saying something. I'm going.
Reject, like you said, or turn it off, or they're going to.
It might be this bit. I'm going.
Be very aware of the fact that POTUS has known and always will know when and when they aren't screwing with his account. Thought that was pretty impressive, but I just think that you've got to do a little. There's a reason that there's the big drops and everybody goes whoa, and then they'll follow.
This is it. There's big drops and there's little drops. This is what I liked. Hang on.
What's going on, man? How are you doing?
Probably will happen more in California soon with Hollywood, people in Hollywood being held accountable for this stuff. It's going to really wake people up, right?
Yeah, well, it's either going to wake them up or it's going to completely push them away from following, which is very likely. There's a lot of people, man, it's going to be too much. You know what I mean? The cognitive dissonance will be too much. It'll be I can't process this. It's literally against everything I had come to understand and believe of the world, and it's too much for me to take in. So I think you're going to have a mix. This is the delicate thing that a lot of people don't realize, Abe, is you can't red pill 100% all the time in all ways when it comes to some of this stuff, right? And Trump actually talked about it at the social media summit. He talked about how, and I love that he said it because I'm like, dude, he gets it like at a very high level, which is you're going to have ebbs and flows. I see people go, oh, I'm not getting the the views and the links, and why aren't I getting the views? Oh, they must have not throttled me. It's like, dude, some of it, yeah, you're being throttled, but some of it is a very natural ebb and flow to people taking in your information and people rejecting it. And the reason is, if you stay on one track and it's like all negative all the time, or all hard-hitting red pills all the time, eventually the public pulls, not even just the public, natural human inclination is, I kind of had enough. Like, I've got to, this is all full for me right now. I've got to digest that. I got to swirl it around. It's one of the reasons I do my show the way I do it, is I bounce all over the place, and people go, why do you do that? It's like, because...
That's a bit like me. He's saying he bounces all over the place on his channel, because if you just talk about the same, I don't mean the same thing, but this, that and the other, just keep on Epstein, blah, 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 blah. Some people will fall off it because it's too much. Hi.
There's only so much the mind can handle on any one particular subject, and if you don't switch it up, it starts to reject what you're saying because it's too much. And so I think right now that's one of the things that we're seeing, and Trump talked about it. He actually talked about that natural ebb and flow, and in his understanding from an analytics standpoint of Twitter impressed me, because I'm a Twitter business guy, right? I've been doing it for a while, and to see him, the way that he was discussing it, made me very aware of the fact that POTUS has known and always will know when, and then bad news, oh my gosh, and then it takes you back. It'll die down, and people will go, nothing's happening again. And they do that on purpose so you can digest it. It can swirl. It's got to have time to make its way into the consciousness of America and globally. And then you'll see them come back with big news. Oh, man, it's good news. We feel good again. Everything feels good. Trump got it handled. And then bad news. Oh, my gosh. And then it takes you back down. They're doing that shit on purpose. I did it. I wrote my book based on that premise. I do a show based on this exact premise. I know what that is. And the entire idea is to keep you watching. The only way to keep you watching is to not overwhelm you with one particular...
Right, so what he was saying, that was on the Black Mirror channel, and I think that was a Patriot Hour Thinks channel. But basically what he was saying was, what I watched this morning is, Q will take you up, and then he'll show you some shit. Then he'll disappear for a bit, and then he'll come back. Other people go, oh... yeah, they're just doing that because they want you to make you feel good because it's all part of the New World Order. It's like, no, because why the hell would they go through all this shit when they could have just let her win? So no, that isn't what it is. Yes, it does look like sometimes they bring you up and bring you down, but they have to do that. It has to be slowly given out, to help us understand, and to get it in the minds of people that are really asleep, that there could be something going on, because if it was all dropped, it's like eating. You can only eat one mouthful at a time. Exactly, National Mineral Gardens. That's what it is. You can't be all given it on a plate and be force-fed it, because you're going to throw up. And literally, you are going to throw up when you find out some of it, because people think it's not real, some of the nasty stuff. But you can't be giving it like that, because our human brains don't work like that. They will switch off. They will shut down. They will start rejecting what it's being told, because we've been programmed anyway. So, like I said the other day with the person's channel, I said go and watch some silly feminist, what was she, socialism, bloody lefty from America, wherever she was from. That wasn't to really get at her. It was just to say, look how they think. Did you hear what was coming out of her mouth? Mad Hatter. That's all I can say. But like some of these people, it's not their fault. They don't research. They don't know. They've been programmed. But then again, there are some out there that are shills, and they're being paid, and they know exactly what they're doing. So just going to throw that out there. Yeah, I think she's being paid. It's like, she looks like, I said in there, is this an Antifa group? Antifa. Looks like Antifa all the way. So, hasn't got the facts straight. He's going off what lamestream media say. It's like, really? So, I just wanted to say, that is why, Q disappears. Hi, Q disappears. Q comes back. Q gives us drops. That's why they're called the breadcrumbs. Like I said, they couldn't have got all this out and just given you all on a plate. When I first got this map, the Q map, I didn't understand it. I was like, what? Going for all of that, over the centuries, whatever. When I first got it at the beginning of the Q train, I was like, oh my god, what is, oh my god, like, what? Now I'm like, oh yeah, it totally makes sense, joining the dots up there. Also, for those of you who got on the Q train at the beginning and found out a lot of stuff about the way the world really works, our reality, and what they've been doing to children, how did you feel? Because I know I nearly had a breakdown for 2 weeks, couldn't stop crying, felt like shit, sort of thought, my God, I don't want to be here, what is this world, sort of thing. Not that I was going to do anything, just that feeling of like, I can't believe I've woke up to this, literally red pill or blue pill matrix stuff. So if you felt like that, we're over that now, because that was at the beginning of Q. You have to learn to sort of disconnect yourself from it, because we've got to focus on getting the truth out. Yeah, I still get depressed over the children. Exactly, people will get depressed over it. So think of when the masses wake up who are asleep and have believed all along. Even worse for them, because they're still sitting there believing mainstream media. The people that they think are protecting them are lying to them. The people that they think are giving them news are lying to them. So it's a little bit worse maybe than us, even though we were lied to, but we've sort of got past that now, and we can see the lies where they can't see the lies. The ego will push your mind away from info. Yeah, that will wake you up. Why? After you wake up, you will not need the ego. The ego wants to be in charge of you. Yes, the ego does, and it's a false ego. People don't like knowing that they've been lied to, So I just sort of see it as that. Everyone's going to have to handle it. Some people I know won't join us to fight because, yeah, exactly. They won't join us to fight because they'd rather stick their head in the sand, because they don't want to see their world fall down thinking it was something else that it wasn't. But basically it's tough. I'd rather, when you go back and everyone goes on about the red pill, the blue pill, or the matrix thing, I used to laugh about it, because I used to think, why did my dad tell me to watch this stuff? Like, I'd have rather took the blue pill or whatever. But I'm glad I didn't. I'm glad I didn't go back to being a sheep, because even though it's horrible and I'd rather not know, I'd rather know than not know, because you have to be aware, and this is what it's all about. It's about being aware. Like I said, these secret societies and stuff can't work when everybody knows, because we know the symbols, we know the numerology, we know how they work in secret. That's why the secret societies. So it can't work if it's not a secret anymore worldwide, and that's why Q was dropping them in breadcrumbs. I just don't know what people don't get, and I don't know what people, dark to light people don't get. The ones who go, they want you to think that it's part of the new world order, it's just another 10 years on the new world order, it's just this. It's like, just get a grip. Get a grip. I say this to people, it's like, get a grip. Do you not really think there's good people out there, patriots? Because a lot of the people that are QAnons, let's say, are just normal people, seeing in the area, listening, looking, watching, researching, all together. Where we go one, we go all. Yes, Dolly, my dad was stationed in Kenya and told us about the children being taken. Exactly. And there's people still sat there lapping up the news, and they can't for 1 minute get them cogs turning in the brain that every time something comes out, the news always spin it and say it was Trump. Oh, it was Trump that went to Epstein's Island. It wasn't Clinton. No, it wasn't Bill. He only went there 4 times. Oh, really? He went there about 26 times. Get your facts right. And what about the submarines? We're learning a few things about submarines now, aren't we? What? Drugs, trafficking kids. How could you traffic a load? Yeah, you could traffic a load of children in submarines, couldn't you? Did a submarine go under his island? And they can't wake up to the fact that the news is biased and they all hate Trump. And to me, that'd be a bit like, right, well, the news is very biased. But no, I'm waiting for Oprah to be... I can't wait for Oprah Winfrey to get stung. Can you imagine how many people will be in uproar? Oh, Oprah Winfrey. Yeah, I used to like her ages ago, till I found out what she was like. And this is where it begins. Epstein's Island, we've got R. Kelly. People are like, yeah, but we knew about Epstein, we knew about R. Kelly. The difference is they've been arrested, and this is where it starts, because then it's going to start bringing down Hollywood. And this is where people's cogs in the brain are going to explode, and they're going to need medication, because all the people they looked up to, celebrities, not all of them, but a lot of them, that you've been looking up to, and I used to look up to, and they're looking up to, they're going to have a big shock, because the only stars you should be looking up to are the ones in the sky, not the fake ones. Yeah, now about the Luciferian Vatican. Yeah, there's so much out there. So all this stuff has had to drip out slowly, so people are getting used to what's coming, and we know what's coming, and there may be other things we don't know what's coming, but we know slowly. You can't just, because like that thing in putting frogs in a pan and, you know, turning it up hotter, we'd all explode and we'd all want to be fighting everywhere. And it's not about fighting. They want us fighting. They want war. So, but there's going to be people who are going to be angry anyway and do that. That's why they say, oh, look at the Q movement. Someone going around killing someone because they thought it was a pizza place. Well, there are going to be people like that because they're angry. But the people who say that about, oh, the pizza place is like it's not real, you're going to have a big wake-up call. You're going to have a big wake-up call, and you're the one going to be in hospital with your brain dislodged because you won't be able to get your head around it. Hi, Coffee Paul. So I was watching that, like I said, that was Black Mirror. Black Mirror puts a lot of different channels up, and I think it was a Patriot Hour, so that was really good. Yeah, they want war, race, war, religion, war, just like Keep the Prawn Save the World, you know, the film. I was also watching Jenny Hatch's new video, because don't forget she hasn't got to go over and sub because she had a big channel on it and then she's had to come back up again. She's got another really good one out. I'm sure it's with is it Larry Letterman? The one where is it Larry Letterman? Where they had the interview with Trump years ago, this is why people don't research. And, you know, the letter from JFK Jr., but it was like after he died, supposedly. You know, after he died. He was like, that's quite funny. Well, she had forests and big grounds at her house, doesn't she, if anyone knows about hunting. And I don't mean animals. Sick bastards. All I can say, Larry King. Why say Larry Letterman? Who's Letterman? I said Larry Letterman. Sorry, Larry King. Oh, thank you, Bernice. I've always liked Larry Letterman. Is there someone called Letterman? There is, isn't there? All right, is that just come out the ether? Who's Letterman? Was he a talk show host anyway? You know, Hunger Games, exactly. Whoa, exactly. Yeah, and that people are gonna, when people find out about the Black Forest and the Rothschilds, and they sold the Black Forest off, and people are gonna learn about royals and things going over to the Black Forest and what they were hunting. They weren't hunting animals, people. Let's put it that way. Heads are going to explode. David Letterman. Was he, no, when you research, you know, was he, he was a talk show host. That's typically me. I was like, I think I put it enabled. Who's chatted about it? And I was like, Larry Letterman, Larry King, you know what I mean. Red Castles, exactly. You know, those of us that research know, and that's why I keep saying, this is why they wouldn't have think of the film The Purge. That's what they wanted us to do. If they'd hi Tapper 77777, if they'd have threw it all on us, that'd have been everybody. Could you imagine how you felt at the beginning when you woke up to it all? The lies and everything and the horrendous stuff. I wanted to kick off. The whole world would be kicking off, and they'd want that because we'd be killing ourselves, because you'd be getting paranoid about certain things and certain numbers and symbols. It doesn't mean because someone's got a symbol of a bloody butterfly on their arm, it means a monarch trait, bloody MK Ultra. Do you know what I mean? They did nick our symbols as well. That's just them signalling to each other. They can speak languages to each other on stage in Hollywood by numbers, coding, you know, secret codes, secret societies. So that's how it goes. But it would have been the purge. We'd all be going around killing each other, and they'd be there going, ha ha ha. They're all doing it themselves, the job that we want to do anyway with depopulation. So that's all I'm saying. I felt like my grandkids all said Hillary was going to do the purge if she got, totally. If she got in, she'd do the purge. And that's why people are way too thick out there when they still think the New World Order's coming in. No. You wait until she got to the pinnacle. Because that's what they do. You know, you wait till someone's at the game and then they want to bring you down. So they wait till she thought she was there and then they brought her down. And it's not the New World Order pretending to be good. No. They wouldn't have all this strife going on. They wanted to do it ages ago. They would have just let her win. Fact. So, intent, hope for everything. Yeah. So, like I said, it would have been the purge. So this is why they had to trickle it out. So there's people waking up, and there's more people waking up to it all the time. And I've noticed, even in this week, there's a lot of people that I didn't think could mention it are starting to mention Q and like, oh, well, actually, it's sounding like it's real. So the people who thought it wasn't real are starting to get on board with like, hang on a minute, these truths are coming out. We are manifesting a new world. Yes, we are. You know, so we're here, as I keep saying, for the people when they come over, so they know they're not nutcases. They know there's people that have gone through it, and we can support them when they go through the heinous stuff they're going to find out. That's all I'm saying. So that's sort of all I really wanted to say. I was also in the garden today because it was sunny. I was weeding and I was grounding because I went out with no shoes on. Yeah, well, they got tunnels underground. They got tunnels everywhere. They got tunnels all over the world. I was grounding because people need to do more of that. And we've got the eclipse coming. Is it tomorrow, 16th and 17th? Or was it the moon? I can't remember. That's really good because it's high manifestation and that's quite important. And I believe Trump was born on a eclipse or a full moon or something. All to do with numbers and all that. You know what we were talking about the other day on The Really Woke Show. If you haven't gone over there to watch The Really Woke Show, please go over and subscribe. We have another channel with me, Roxanne, The Globalist and I, and 007, where we talk about different things, and we've just been talking about Gematria. Wish asked for it with the corny. Yeah, exactly. So we know there was a plan, and there's a plan been in place for years. As I said, if you watch the interview with Trump years ago with Larry King, you'll see him say about the letter from JFK Jr. The plan was in ages ago. Oh yes. Just let me go over to Q a minute. They can't stop what's coming. So all these people, like that girl the other day talking about it, you know, like Antifa style. Oh, you can sit there talking shite, but you're going to get seen for who you are, and you can't stop what's coming anyway, so, oh dearie me. So, I was in the garden, and I'm grounding, no shoes on the grass, chilling, watching my sparkles, because they were sparkling in the sun. And it came into my head because I was weeding, pulling the weeds out, which made me laugh because I went and watched Magenta Pixie earlier. Well, a little bit. And she started talking about, I just couldn't believe what she said. I asked for a sign today of someone saying something. She basically said what I said about something about the gardeners of Eden. And this will make sense in a minute when I read out what I wrote in the garden. Many of you may not know, when I'm in the garden, that seems to be when I get a lot of things and I write it down. So I was grounding and I got this. Oh, just let's have a look at Q. Federal charges coming. Watch the news. These people are stupid. These people are stupid. Because that girl kept saying the QAnons, us lot, are stupid. She's stupid if she thinks we're stupid. She's very stupid. Old guard threatened. Think size and scope of. I think it was on. You got to watch Jenny Hatch's new video. It was brilliant. Anyway, I'm not going into that because, like we said, we know who watches. You know, follows all the stuff. But Magenta Pixie said that, so I'm going to read out what I came into my head when I was in the garden. Then I'm going to show you some art because I was only coming on for a little bit. So, see if I can read this back. So, this is what came into my head, and this is what I wrote at the top, and then Magenta Pixie sort of said it because it just clicked in my head. So, we are the gardeners, and then I put underneath, guards of Eden. Gardeners of Eden. We are the gardeners, guards of Eden. And I think Magenta Pixie said something about the gardeners of Eden. I was like, no way did I think of this morning, and she just said it later. Dolly, you don't sparkle. Oh, thank you. And then this is just what came into my head, so I'm going to read it as it is. Weeding the weeds. Not this. This is to do with the deep state and the deceivers and everything. But I've done it in a, what do you call it? Is it an analogy? The way I've wrote about gardening. Yeah, we are the news now. Weeding the weeds, not just pulling them out. 'Cause sometimes we pull the weeds out. It's not getting the roots, is it? So I put. I'll come in chat when I've read it out. Not just pulling them out, but taking their root systems out from the core, because sometimes you pull a weed out and the root's still in and it carries on growing. So I see that as deep state, the elites, whatever you want to call them, these people who've been involved with deceiving. they start growing again because the core root system hasn't been taken out. Some may say, well, weeds are plants too. No, weeds are plants too, they should be there. But then I thought, well, yes, but too many weeds take over, so the nothing but weeds survive, not balance. They take over the light, so those that need it, becomes very dark for the pretty flowers, can't survive because they are in the dark. Reminds me of warring sides. It's all about balance, meaning someone said today, it's like the secret societies, maybe there was a side for humanity and a side not for humanity, and they've been warring against each other. Yeah, I think that's too, but even if they were for themselves a little bit as well for humanity, but it got out of balance, and that's the biggest thing, is a balance. But I think they know a time would come. I think they knew a time was coming anyway, so even if someone wanted to jump ship, they'd jump ship. I've got what's this in my ear? I've got twinkly bits in my ear. What's twinkly? But I think they know. I think they knew a time would come when those who were overshadowed by darkness would rise again and push through the dark. As they saw a glimmer of light, they sought through the lies and deceit to bring the light to those in the dark, like the little flowers pushing up from the darkness, to bloom again and flourish. That's what we're doing. We're waking up. But like I say, we are not just picking them out. We are going for the root system problem core, because that wasn't done before. Few weeds were taken out, but the actual core root wasn't taken out. Because now we have the eyes to see and feel the light. Those in the dark of the dark will burn. I don't know if that made sense, but that's what I wrote. Meaning, yes, supposedly JFK Jr.'s death tomorrow, 20 years ago. Maybe a big drop, maybe no, I'm not saying anything, because remember, it's the speculation, what everyone's moaning about with the Q said JFK Jr. was dead. No, he didn't. He's talking about speculation of when we say he's coming out, so I'm not saying nothing. I'm just saying whenever, whatever, I trust the plan. And that's all. But that was me in the garden. Thank you. An analogy, weeding. And then I went over and watched my Jelly Pixie, and she said about we are the gardeners of Eden, because we are. We can't let our Eden overgrow with weeds, because there'd be no beautiful flowers, and everywhere would be dark because all the weeds do take over, and the weeds have been taking over in my garden more than ever. So we have to pluck them out, but we have to get them out by the root system. There can be some, but if there's too many, it's about balance. It's not going to work. We're going to be living in the dark, you know what I'm saying there. So we are the gardeners. And then when I looked at the word gardeners, this is where I got it. I thought it sort of sounds like gardeners. It sounds like guard. The word Eden is in the word gardeners. So we are the guardians of Eden. That's all I'm saying. That's what popped into my head anyway, because that's the sort of person I am. What is a keystone? Well, I'm a bit tired, so that's all I came to say. But I'm going to show you what I've been painting today, because I just wanted to tell you that that's what I got in the garden today. So get your feet on the floor. Full moon snap. Oh, you just reminded me, Rachel Pixie. Full moon last night. Oh my god. Oh, it was so bright. I've heard something about Trump's in control of the chemtrails now. Does that mean worldwide or just in America? Because I noticed there was lovely, fluffy clouds today, but no chemtrails, and it was hot and it was lovely. And I watched the sun go down before, and it was golden and it was beautiful, and I could see the sparkles, and I was like, oh, it is lovely. So yeah. But I was doing this today. One, I've just done a little prototype of this little bookmark. I think she's really cute. Oh, the Akashic Records. Well, I'm not doing that tonight because I've only come on for a little bit. This little book nerd bookmark. I've made this little character. She's even got little glasses on. Oh, 3D glasses. This little bookmark. Got resin on it, but it'll fit on your book like that, and then the little bun sticks out, so of your book. So I did that. That was a prototype, so I am going to be making some of these. I made myself a book, which I'm going to be making some more of these with my design of the angel, fairy, or whatever's on the front of it, journal. So I've been drawing in that, and I've got my little, this is made by me as well. This is a paperclip of one of my little characters, and she sits on there, if I can get her back in. She sits on there, and then I think I was doodling, and then I drew a picture the other day. I was doodling, I was writing things down. I did this one, and I've just scribbled on this one because it'll turn into something. But this is one of my art journals I made for myself, because I never make them for myself really, but I am making some more with that print on, hence there's a cover done already, and it's got one of my out of my journals printed on the back in black and white. But I will be making some more of these. Yeah, it looks lovely, so I am putting some of them together. And I started my painting again, because this painting looked very different a few weeks back, months ago. It's just been sat there looking at me, and today I was like, this is the day you're going to start painting it. So I've put a little bit more together. It's not finished, because it takes me ages, but I'll show you what I've been doing. So she's nowhere near finished, but I felt the need to, if you remember, this was totally different. She had black hair, totally different. It always changes. It'll probably change again, I don't know. I'm just going with the flow. So don't ask me what that's going to end up looking like, but I'll show you as it goes along. Yeah, your work is very ethereal. Yeah, I think that. That's just what comes out of me. Thank you. I just paint what comes out, and that's where some people will say, oh, the Q movement's this, and it makes, someone has reported the Q movement makes people really depressed and sad. It does at the beginning, but when you realise how life is and the way, you know, it's not been you all the time, it's made me very happy. And it's not, if I was feeling depressed and yucky with Q, I'd be drawing demons or something, wouldn't I? I don't know what I'd be drawing, but I'm not, do you know what I mean? The stuff I paint and draw is not like that. So yeah, I get in the flow, and what comes out comes out. So, you know, the truth will set you free. Doesn't mean the truth's always good, but I do believe the truth will set you free, because you start, like I said before, you will start realising that some of the things that have gone on in the past are not your fault. We've been brainwashed to think certain ways, to get us to do certain things, to get us to believe certain things. So when you wake up to the truth, even though a lot of it's not nice, you will realise that, hey, it's not you. So did anyone see? Oh, I don't know. First time here to meet you Patriots. Oh, Rudy Digital Soldier, well, you're very welcome, because a lot of people in there are American as well, if you're American, and on the Q team, and MAGA supporters. So, yep. And even if they're not, they can see things are starting to join the dots up. Spreading positivity, exactly, that's what it's all about. You know, people see it as only doom and gloom. Oh, it's the New World Order, it's the New World Order, it's like, what is that? You can see it in my hair. New World Order, no, it's not the New World Order. Trump shut her up, she didn't win, so there you go. So, yeah. Yeah, anybody new who lurks in chat, you should come in chat. Everyone's really friendly. But like I said, the Q drops were saying, well, it's going to be a really good, a rememberable week. Lots of things happening. Like I said, it's coming out slowly, and it's picking up actually. But we're getting there, and I can't wait for the downfall of Hollywood. Whoa, people are not going to like it. No doom and gloom here, but yeah, exactly, Luby, because it's a frequency, and you've got to get on it. See, some people say, "Oh, it's just to make you feel like that, to make you feel like in a good frequency." Well, that's a bit stupid, because I don't really think a lot of their stuff can affect us when you're on a higher frequency. So that would be stupid. They want you in doom and gloom. Their whole thing is fear. This side is love. There's only love or fear. You're either in fear or you're in love. You can choose which one you want to be in. You can go and stick your head in the sand if you want, if you choose to. But you're going to have a rude awakening. Downfall of Hollywood can't come too soon. I know. That's why, they've got R. Kelly, and then it's going to be, 20 videos have been found with underage children, girls or whatever. And then they start opening the mouth, and then it's going to be people you didn't even, where you think, no way, oh my God, I've looked up to them for such a long time. I'd say the good people are probably the ones who are dead or supposedly dead. Nice, I like that. Yeah, a higher frequency. We're trying to lift ourselves to a higher frequency, because I even think that things like, I'm not saying this is legit, but I'm just saying things like 5G and all that, if you're on a higher frequency, I don't think it would affect you as much as people who are in a lower frequency, who are on Big Pharma and all that, because they're on a lower frequency. Everything is energy, magnetic, what do they call it, electrical energy, whatever it's called. We are that as well. Everything is, though you can't see it around you, it's there, you feel it. So it's going to feed or mess with your frequency. But if you're on a higher frequency, it sort of like blasts it out. I've heard terrible things about Elton John. Yeah, so have I, but if you think about it, yeah, Putin said something too. Putin did a shout out to Elton John or something a few weeks ago, and he said something on the lines of, we're not bothered what you are, because I think this as well, we're not bothered if you're gay, if you're transsexual, because it used to be transsexual, not transgender, you're this, that, and if it doesn't matter. But you don't shove it in our kids' faces, because that's what you're doing. Oh, we'll have drag queens reading stories to kids in schools. No, we won't. Oh, there's 50 million thousand different genders. No, there's not. There's 2. Get offended. Oh, well, there's 2. He said something like, you don't shove it in our kids' faces. Why do you need to shove it in our kids' faces? Why do you have to have parades with your penis hanging out and your bum hanging out? Why? So little kids can be there looking. Why do you feel the need to do that? Something going on when you want to shove it in our kids' faces. Like Putin said, it's alright being whatever you are behind closed doors. You don't need to shove it, because if you think about it, it's constantly on telly, in the news, little boys becoming drag queens, and all the mums are going, oh, I want my son to be like that as well. No, you don't. You're going with a trend that they're pushing, with an agenda that they're pushing, because they want all your kids' minds fucked up, basically. And I will say it, that's what they want to do. So you don't know who you are, what you are, messed up, not having kids, not reproducing. They don't want you reproducing. It's another depopulation thing without killing you, messing you up, putting things in your food and drink, all the stuff we know about. And people sit there and go, it's just a conspiracy. And people might get offended if you're off that train on here. I don't know. I do know people that are on my channel that are gay or, transsexual, whatever. And I know some really nice people who will say on that side as well, because I've spoke to these people, they say it too. They're gay or transsexual, transgender, whatever the word we use today, and they've said they agree with it too. They agree it shouldn't be shoved in the kids' faces. They even know. There was a guy in America he went to one of the gay parade festival things, and there was a gay guy there that he had an interview with, and the gay guy said, thanks for doing this, because I don't agree with it either. They shouldn't be pushing it in the kids' faces. Like you said and Trump said, they crossed the line when they went for our kids, and that's why when the people will wake up, they won't stand for no shit. Because when they wake up to what they've been doing to our kids, the time, even Tommy Robinson, and they're putting him in prison for shouting out paedophiles, well, I'm sorry. If you did the crime, you do the time, not Tommy. These paedophiles, I don't care what colour skin you've got. I don't care if you're Jewish, Muslim, Christian, because all sides have done it. But if you did it, you need to go to prison. So it's no point in them people who's been doing that trying to cover up for their people. It is wrong, and it's not about right and left, it's about wrong and right. Maybe people in those countries that do that in their country and they don't see it wrong, because we know this. In some cultures they don't see it as wrong, but in our country, in the UK, America and a lot of other countries, we see it as wrong. So basically I'd say go back to your own country, because we don't stand for it. But then again, them people have been programmed, so I feel sorry for them, in their fake religions and ideologies, that these things are right. They're not right. They're satanical. And if some people knew that some of the numbers in numerology added up to 666, with Mark of the Beast, in certain religions and things, they'd soon find out they have actually been lied to. So that's all I'm saying. You know, but people just want to go on and on and on and on and on. They don't realise that we've all been duped, we've all been hijacked, we've all been messed with. It doesn't matter what religion you are, what colour skin you are, whatever, what your beliefs are, we've all been messed with. But like I said, if someone's doing the crime, you do the time. People will moan, no, there's white paedophiles. There's paedophiles of all different colours and races. That's not an excuse. But if there's people coming to our country and other countries doing this to small girls, which we know they have, and the reason why they won't put it out is because the reason why they're trying to shut Tommy Robinson up is it's not just because of those people, it's the higher ups, the governments and higher ups in police and all that who've been involved with it, and it's been covered up for about 30 or 40 years. Yeah, people are going to go mad. So yeah, so that's why you do the crime, you do the time. So Tommy Robinson never did anything wrong. People who think he's racist and all that really need to do the research, but then again, they're not going to, because they're sat there watching lamestream media, believing everything they say, because, you know, they want to go and bury their head in the sand. But that's all I want to say. So, you know, so anyway, I'm going to go, because I didn't even know that was going to come out my mouth, but there you go. Yeah, some of them were born into it, but they need to not hurt anyone. Yeah, exactly. They were born. This is what I mean. People are born into it, so you think it's natural. I'm not even the people who were born in the satanic families. Like, if anyone knows about the cover up, they're trying to cover up, but a lot of us have seen it with the Hermston, is it, or something? Kids in the UK with the group, that story that they're trying to cover up in the UK. What you've got to realise as well is, some of these kids, some of these people, some of these adults were born into these satanical families. So if you think about it, if that's all you knew, killing babies, eating babies, whatever they've been doing, you would just think that's normal. You'd just be like, oh, it isn't normal. Oh, it's not what people do. You know, when you get talked about, oh, it's not what people do, or we do it. Oh, it's not normal. So really, when Q says about forgiveness, it means we will have to forgive some people in the end, because they're born into it. They've been programmed to think it's normal, you know. So there's all that sort of stuff, and then there's people who are blackmailed, blah 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 blah, and it goes on and on and on. So you know, so yeah, save the littles, exactly. Yeah, that was the one on Q, which was the two little children, which I saw the documentary the other year. It was people are going, it's not real, I think I'll just go and bury my head in the sand, because I don't really want to think about those things going on. Well, you better pull your knickers up, your big pants up, because you're going to soon find out it is real, and you ain't going to like it. But at least us lot are past that. You know, we don't like it, we've cried about it, we've been heartbroken, it's depressing, but we've got past that bit of first finding out. I'm glad I'm past that, you know, because we know. But we'll be there for the others. So I shall see you soon. I was on, Hampstead, that's it, thank you. Yeah, research it. If you don't know about the Hampstead kids, look into it. You're not going to like it. You're really not going to like it. Especially if you just woke up to Q and different things, you're not going to like it. But I'd say you need to know. It's going to break your heart, but you need to know, because this is how we stop them. You want to bury your head in the sands, like I said, they'll just come back with the root system, like the weeds I was talking about. We're pulling them out by the root system's core. You know what I mean? So this is why you have to be strong. Mm. Well, this is why they say QD. I take it you're from America. Some people say, "Oh, why do you look to America and not your own country?" Not that I'm not looking at my own country. I look everywhere. But at the end of the day, America was the last beacon of hope. America falls, we all fall. This camera's going out of focus. Why is it going out of focus? America falls, we all fall. Fact. So we can be strong for the sleepers. Exactly. Because they will come. You know, I do chucking stuff out on Facebook and stuff like that. They all think you're mad, but at one point they will turn and they'll be like, "Oh my God, like, what were you saying?" You know, I am from America. Yay! I have a lot of Americans in here. A lot of Americans. If you're American, press 1 now, just so the Americans can see the Americans. But this is where I say you're not alone. You're not alone. There's loads of us, and it's not just on my channel. Everywhere. Press 1 if you're from America. 11. Thank you. Oh, talking about humans, my son said today, "Mummy, you're just human." He calls it human. "You're a human." I said, "I'm a human." He said, "Yes, you're a grown-up, so you're a human. But I'm not a human, I'm a child." I said, "Oh, so you're not human?" He said, "No, I'm not human, I'm a child, but you're a grown-up, so you're a human." So we're all humans. He is 4, by the way. We're all humans. And every time he sees Trump on the computer, and if he goes, "There's Trump," and he's nicked me Trump coin again. I've got a Trump coin. He's nicked it. He's stolen it. I don't know where it's gone. He keeps losing it. I'm going to have to buy myself a new one because he keeps stealing my Trump coin. So, yeah. So I just thought I'd come on for a quick one. Like I said, I will show you this when it's more done with, whatever. So, yeah. We are using the word human. Yeah, we're all human. Oh, hi, Sleepy Warrior. Have you just jumped in? Are you okay? Dolly is one of the best people on this level. Non-rotating plane. She might not love Flat Earth, but she's cool. No, Sleeping Warrior. I do love Flat Earth. I love Flat Earth, but I'm not calling myself a Flat Earther. You know, like Roxanne the Globalist Denier says, I'm calling myself a Globe Denier. I do believe it's flat, but I don't know what shape it is. I don't know what model, so I can't say. You know? But, you know, looking into things and looking into the bits of the Bible, not that I'm religious, but I did buy one ages ago, a little white one. And certain things, you know, just make sense, doesn't it? Really. And it's all out there in nature. You don't need a scientist to tell you, because you can just look with your own eyes in nature. Can't see no curve for one. But it's not just that with me, it's the whole creative thing. The globalists, the socialists, they say, you know, we're spinning through space, blah, 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 blah. We're not the centre of the universe. We're not that. There is no creator. Well, I'm sorry. Nope. There is a creator. Yeah. We all need to become... Here's a wax man. My dad's in the house. We all need to become conspiracy therapists for those who are going to wake up suddenly and going to have a mind fuck. Exactly, Dad. Couldn't have said it better. We all need to be conspiracy therapists. And Tapper has just put... Oh, thank you, Tapper. Tapper has just put in the link. So if you don't catch this now, go back and look. The Hampstead children. Like I said, watch it. But you might not like it if you don't know about it. But like I said, sometimes you've got to be aware, because this is reality. And reality is not what you think it is. So, just saying. So, Sleeping Warriors in the house. Yay! So, yeah, I'm going to go, because I was just sort of talking about the drops and why they had to come in slow and this, that and the other. And it's a week to remember, and it's going to pick up faster with Hollywood and all that. And all those that sat there going, "Oh, woman and Aaron," are starting to go... Oh, I even saw D Marbles today going, "Oh, this queue, and it's adding up to," but I don't, it could be. And I'm like, yeah, at least you're thinking about it. A lot of people out there who are very factual are now seeing, they're like, this is making sense, you know? So, I've got paint all over me. Yeah, I'm going to go. I'm going to throw away. Yeah, I tell you what, Loopy Loo. I've not listened to music properly for ages. I'll only listen to like Michael Jackson and stuff now. I got Beyonce's album the other year, if anyone remembers, ages ago, and I just went, snap the bitch in half. I just got the CD and I went, oof. I snapped it for you ain't listening to your shitty music. Do you remember that song? If I were a boy. Beyonce, are you another one? Are you like Big Mike? Michelle Obama? Big Mike? Who knows? Because there's a lot of them out there. Like I said, not that I'm saying that's a bad thing, but it's that lying thing again, innit? I know people who are. Okay, fine, fair enough. Why do you have to lie about it to the masses? Michelle Obama, Big Mike, Becoming Michelle, the book she wrote, Becoming Michelle. But why lie? Being deceitful to the masses, because that's what they do. I ain't got a problem with that. It's just why you're lying, Big Mike, eh? On the Ellen Show with your schlong bounding around everywhere. Yeah. And Obama was caught saying, my wife, Michelle. Michelle. Yeah. So, all I'd like to say is, let me see if I can get this. We're the news now. Where we go one week go all. And yeah, Shalong. I'll see you in the week sometime. Well, yeah, you do. You just don't know, do you? But I know people know what I'm going on about, and that isn't getting on at that community. That community needs to be aware of what's going on with the deep agenda. Stay away from the kids. So, yeah, where we go one week, well, and I'll see you in the week. Bye.